Hi again, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Diggin It podcast. I'm Eric Richey. I'm your host, and I'm so glad you're with us today because I'm talking about a Hall of Fame type show. We have got awesome guests, awesome video, great content throughout the next 1 hour, so you're not going to want to go anywhere. Just a quick preview of what we have in store. We're going to talk to Terry Hebert, the head coach at Teurlings Catholic. His team, for a 10th season in a row, make it to the state championship game. We've got a ton to talk to Coach Terry about. Then in college, we're going to Hammond, Louisiana, where Jeremy White is still clapping and excited and still buzzing after his team wins the Southland Conference tournament and earns a bid into the NCAAs. Coach Jeremy will join us in our college segment. And then our final segment, we're going to hear from the teams that were the runners-up in the state championship just over a week ago at the Cajun Dome. You know, on VSN for the better part of 10 days following the state championship, we gave you that media room interview stuff, the interviews at the podium that go so unnoticed amongst the overall general media. And a lot of times the fans, the parents, the players themselves never get to see that. So we've done our best to make sure that the state championship sound has got out there in all 5 divisions. But what about the teams that finished second? Some emotional interviews that took place in that media room. And we're going to play a good bit of it, the best sound from all 5 teams that finished second in the state. Of course, that includes Tullis, Allie Tullis, who was unbelievable, her courageousness and her poise just 12 hours after she lost her brother Christian in a terrible car accident coming home from the semifinals. You'll hear from her. You'll hear from April Hagedon, who was very emotional after her final game as the head coach at Mount Carmel. So a lot to get to on the back end of this show. But as we do each and every podcast, we start with the high school segment. So let's get to it. High school volleyball this week. And as promised, we're headed to Lafayette. Teurlings Catholic head coach Terry Hebert joins us. And coach, I guess so many things have happened in your life since we talked to you last. Have you decompressed over the last, I guess, week or two of so many things that have gone on, mostly in a positive manner?
Yeah, man, had a chance to really kind of get grounded again, spend some time with family this past weekend. So yeah, it's nice to kind of step away from it for a little bit in the hustle and bustle of playoff week.
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate you on Ari and winning the Southland Conference tournament and her coming back from an injury and again showing courage and man, how skilled she is as a player. I didn't really watch her that much in high school. We really got in just after she left, but man, I followed her at Southeastern and she is some kind of a player, a lot to be proud of. We're going to talk about her in a little bit, but the first thing I want to do is kind of get your reaction on the state tournament as a whole. Before, I got some special video I want to show in a little bit. But first of all, just your reaction on, you were one of those guys in the podium, the runners-up that talked about, man, if you'd have told us in August, we'd be sitting here talking after a state championship game, I don't know if I'd have believed you. All the things that's happened to your team. You lost a player in the preseason. You lost a 6 rotation outside potential all-state player in the middle of the year. How your team came together and battled, beat St. Thomas More in the regular season, and then fought all the way to a state championship game. Kind of sum it all up, man. What was it like? What's your reaction on what your team accomplished this season?
Well, I guess you summed it up for me right there, but just real proud of them. As you mentioned, the season started rough with losing Matty Fobbs to an ACL tear earlier in the club season, preseason for us. And then we did lose a 6 rotation outside about halfway through the season. Had to shuffle Allie LaFleur, who's accustomed to playing middle. We had to shuffle her to the outside. Charlie Boulay, who's been a setter all her life, she had to go back to the outside. I didn't say enough about this young lady, but Anna Claire Hebert, AC, coming in as a freshman, Been excited to get her on board, since seeing her come in through my camps, 5th and 6th grade year. But I mean, she's a little firecracker, leader. Put in a position where she has to go and immediately run an offense that is, hopefully going to be state caliber level. And with all the shuffling that we did, early on and in the middle of the season, if you would have asked me, I felt confident we'd at least make it to the Cajun Dome for the first round. But past that, I wasn't quite sure we had the will. I mean, the girls had the will. I just didn't know if we had the skill set. Moving those kids around as late as we did, and I just thought it would take more time. But we got some wins when we did. Obviously a huge win against St. Thomas More, which was a big confidence booster at the last tournament of the year, the last match of the regular season match for us. It's still a little odd for us to be in the Cajun Dome. 7-8 years of going out to Kenner and having a routine that you get into. It's still a little strange for us to be practicing in our own gym, believe it or not, on Friday and Saturday of the tournament. But we're extremely proud of the way they fought against Ben Franklin. Very good Ben Franklin team. We played about as bad as we could in sets 2 and 3, and had to battle back against a very good team that wasn't going to go down easy. And I was just extremely proud of them for doing that. And I think that was a big confidence booster going into Saturday. But, I got to take my hat off to STM. I mean, they were, as we knew the whole season, they were loaded with some gifted athletes. And I wish we would have had a little better showing. But, once again, I was just proud we were playing on Saturday.
Couple things there I want to follow up on. First of all, you talked about playing at the Cajun Dome, getting used to that. And I know I talked to you right after the quarterfinal win over AOL, and you were just looking up into a sea of Rebel Nation. I know that was a major factor and how much you appreciated the support from your fan base. But then let's take it to that Ben Franklin semifinal 5-set war. And this is the video that I want to talk about. Your reaction right after match point reminded me of one thing when I covered, and again, we both have Indianapolis ties. When I covered the Pacers, you remember The Last Dance, right? Jordan, they had the great docu-series on that. The Eastern Conference Finals that year in 1998, I was fortunate enough to cover for Fox 59 in Indianapolis. I literally had a front row seat for all 7 games. So the reaction, I want to show that video. And Justin, if you can, go ahead and play it. Game 4, Pacers down the final second. Reggie Miller launches one of his classic buzzer beater shots. It was actually 0.7 seconds, but look at the reaction that I want you to see from Larry Bird, because I was right behind you when you made it. This is the reaction right here, right here. Look, Austin Crozier, the entire Market Square Arena crowd going crazy. Larry Bird, stoic, no reaction. So here's your reaction to match point for when you beat Ben Franklin in 5 sets. Look at your reaction. Watch the bench come rushing out. Watch everyone start cheering. And look at Terry Hebert. Look at Terry Hebert. You finally do this and you look down, but then 9-year-old son Hudson's right there. And that's the iconic shot for me of the whole thing. Here comes your wife. Meredith gives you gives your son the hug, Hudson the hug, gives you the kiss, and then you're off and celebrating. But that was what I was trying to compare. What was going through your mind when you realized you made it to a 10th straight state championship appearance?
Well, I'm honored to be thrown in the same sentence there with Larry Bird and Michael Jordan, man. I appreciate that. But that was just a look of exhaustion and kind of wow, man. They pulled it out at a certain point. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And so I think we had given them all the info. Meredith had scouted Ben Franklin the day before while we were practicing here, and we gave them all the info, everything we thought they were going to run, and it just became a matter of execution. And making sure they did what they had to do. It was in their hands. And but yeah, that was more of a look of exhaustion and like, man, thank God this is over. I did get some flack for a lot of compliments on. I think Lil Hud realized that he couldn't get on the court possibly, so he made a sprint, turned around, and I guess I was standing there. But it was great to have him, and I know I kind of it looked like I brushed Meredith aside real quick after she was coming to give me a hug. I got some flack from my buddies for that, but we
Yeah,
were shaking
yeah.
we were shaking hands up at the net, so I had to get up there. And but no, what a special moment, it was. It really, like I said, it was a look of exhaustion more than anything, but it was extremely special to have my family. I mean, I guess what we didn't see was Isabel was out there on the floor, so that the four of us to be on the court together was pretty special.
Well, and that leads me to my next question. The three players that joined you in the media interview room that we're going to hear from later on, Haley Hillman, Kenley Nonato, who just did spectacular as well as Haley did up front, Kenley as your libero. But, you're like me. You have a daughter in the sport, and you're reluctant to kind of talk about her and talk about, you want to talk about everybody else first. But the job Izzy did this season and the positions that she played and the role that she played, what was that like for you? And just as a dad to be so proud of her inside, maybe not all the time talking about her boastfully, but inside so proud.
Yeah, I think you said it. It's hard as a father you want to give her accolades, and I think I probably haven't talked about her as much as I should. But I mentioned everybody else moving around, but for her, I think it was a little bit easier for Ari coming into her career because Ari had been setting all her life. Izzy's just that little utility player that she's played right side on a club team. She's set on a high school team. She's done this on a different team. And, she came in and did a phenomenal job of being a leader for us on the court. You want to talk about the person with the most fire and enthusiasm after every point. I got more compliments and more phone calls about how they enjoyed watching her play and her fire, relentless on every point. We initially, obviously, her primary position is setting. Then when we needed her to put the ball away a few times, we put her in on the right side, and then we needed her to get even more attempts, so we moved her to the left at some point during the season for a couple of matches. I think that was one of the reasons we were able to beat STM at Spook. Moving her to the outside and her getting some kills there. But it's you just try to be leery about it as a coach. And over the past several years, having multiple kids in the sport, you want to make sure that you're giving everybody else credit. And it doesn't sound like you're talking about, your kid and gloating on your kid, but I think there's times that I probably haven't done enough, so.
No. Yep. No, I wanted to
Real
give you that
proud of her.
opportunity and put that out there. And props to Izzy for, and again, all those things you talked about. Love her passion, love her play. Saw it from the beginning. The Hall of Fame game at Thibodeau Wellness Center. She was showing fire. And so, all right, let's go to the other side. You talked about how wonderful of a team St. Thomas More was, and back-to-back state champions against you in the state finals. No one more happy to see AC Freilich graduate, but I know you have a ton of respect for what will probably be the player of the year in Louisiana. She certainly was the MVP in the Division state championship, Division II, as well as the LVCA, LHSCA All-Star game. She scored the last 2 points. We got some video of AC, and while we're talking about her, while we're looking at some of the video, tell me about what kind of a player you think she is, and kind of just summarize AC Freilich. And you had a player very similar, right? Cicely Hildago, who we're going to talk about more with Coach Jeremy at Southeastern. But tell me about AC Freilich, the player.
Well, I think I'm lucky enough to have the unique position where she played for Meredith, I think when she was 13 or 14, I think 14. And, she was for a while there was some talk about her coming over to Teurlings, and we were excited about it, but obviously let her make her own decision. As good as a player she is, she's a great kid. And she comes from, her parents. I'm going to miss those two. Spent a lot of club seasons with them, traveling with them, and just, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And this is a great example of it. She's a phenomenal, even better person than she is an athlete. But, you just watch her skill set. I mean, the kid can pass. She's got a perfect volleyball build. She puts the ball away. I mean, I think she was, no doubt she was ready to play us because in the finals, the first probably 2 or 3 kills that she had, I don't think I've ever seen her jump as high as she did. So she came in there ready to go. But, she's able to do so many things with the ball out of front row, out of back row. I mean, her shot selection is great. When she tips, she's so high. She puts the ball away at angles that defenders are having a tough time defending. She moves the ball around well. She hits that sharp cross. She drops her thumb, hits hard cross, and you'll see her tear one down the line. I know Izzy was the beneficiary of one of those in the finals. But just a great kid, and I'm so excited to see what she's going to do in the future. Yeah, deep down, I'm happy to see her go, but I will miss seeing her, and I know Meredith will as well. Seeing her and her family on the other side of the net, it's been a joy to be around.
Yeah, you're right about her family. We got to know her father, Mike, and he's the first guy to compliment our coverage for the LVCA All-Star game at Nichols this past weekend. He came up and just told Andrew Byer and myself, great job on our coverage. But she'll be fun to watch right here in state at LSU. Speaking of the LVC, speaking of the LVCA, the Louisiana Volleyball Coaches Association, not only are you the head coach at Teurlings Catholic, but you're the president of the LVCA as well. I guess as the president of the LVCA, my question to you is the state of high school volleyball in Louisiana. What do you like? What would you like to see improved? And overall, as the president of the Coaches Association, what's that been like for you?
I guess the thing that I like is just and I think it was really evident this past week, with Danny losing Christian, just the brotherhood and the sisterhood amongst all of us. He unfortunately spent the day yesterday at Christian's funeral, and just saw coaches from as far away as Lake Charles going all the way over to Slidell, and the people that contacted me the Saturday morning of the finals, not wanting to disturb Danny and just saying, hey, what can we do? How can we help? Just shows to the magnitude of how close we all are. The volleyball community is not huge, but I mean, man, some of the greatest people I've ever met and enjoy being around. I love the camaraderie and the genuine interest that we have for each other as coaches and our players. And it may sound cliche, but I truly feel like that is what we have. I'd like to see the sport grow a little more towards the northern parts of the state, the northern parishes. I know Lucy Hunt's doing a great job up there in Ruston of getting things together. But you kind of go north of the Lafayette, Opelousas area, and you won't see much of anything going on until a couple of schools up in northern Louisiana. So I would love to see that prosper. So close to Arkansas, and that I-20 corridor. You're right there next to Dallas. 2 or 3 hours away. I know it's growing. I know there are people up there doing some good things, but I would love to see that continue to grow. And as far as your answering your last question, I think it was really eye-opening experience for me, just to see how much the LVCA works hand in hand with the LHSAA and the LHSCA. Wasn't aware of, I mean, there were times, with COVID last year, the COVID protocol. I mean, I was on the phone with Karen Hoyt and Lacey, 2 or 3 times a week for several weeks before the season started. Then Ida hit, and then, bam, we got to get things moved over to the Cajun Dome. And I just didn't realize how much the president is actually involved in some of those decision-making opportunities. And the LHSA did a great job. Karen and them did a great job of really wanting our opinion and our suggestions on what we should do and what's best for the sport. But that was just kind of an eye-opening experience. And there's a lot of things I wish I would have been able to do. And I remember when my counterparts nominated me a few years ago, it was something I didn't even want. I was begging to, I said honored, really honored, but I was looking to get some things off the table personally, spend some time with Hudson playing baseball. I didn't want to put another iron on the fire. But I'm really happy I took it on. And as I said, I wish there were some other things I could have done a little better to make, to grow the game and grow the sport. But just really proud to be representing this great group of people, and I'm happy to see it go after the All-State banquet. We're gonna turn that over to Patrick Ricks over at Dutchtown, and I'll do my best to help him out. But I'm ready to pass the baton.
Well, you've done an excellent job, I'll tell you that. But look, we talked about Izzy, and obviously our families got together a couple times this summer. Emma and Izzy played as partners on the beach scene, and one thing I noticed during that time, I really got to know Ari, and she would be coaching them up, and during timeouts, and just being being a great not only sister but leader. And she had that knee brace on, and I'm like, man, it's going to be tough for you to play this year. We've got video of an unbelievable rally. Now, Southeastern doesn't win this point against McNeese State, and they obviously have won the whole thing, beating HCU the next day. But let me, Justin, roll the video, please, of the video of this rally. Look at her making plays with that knee brace, and I think the knee brace almost popped off, Coach.
Yeah, she was playing right back right there. She chicken winged up there, and I think coming up here, if I'm not mistaken, she gets involved in another something in coverage maybe, or here. Oh, yeah, there you go, right there.
That's unbelievable. Ansley Tullis and her back and forth making plays. It's unbelievable. It's disheartening that they don't win this point, but obviously they lose the battle, win the war, and they get the last laugh. But I had to get your reaction on this rally and just overall, Ari coming back, not only making it back on the floor, but as we just saw, being an impact player, Coach.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a delay in the game after her top of her knee brace had broken, and they had to, instead of being able to strap it back on, they just went ahead and put some athletic tape and let her finish the set. But no, really proud of her, man. When she had the surgery, her ETA back was, I want to say mid-November, which would have been last week, and she didn't want a red shirt. I think she really wanted to go out with Jolie and Crispin and Addie on senior night. She really wanted to play. That was a goal she had set. And she busted her tail through rehab, and she ended up coming out 6 weeks early. She got back into practice that first week of October, I want to say. And I want to say halfway through October, she was back on the floor playing. So, kids, much more of a competitor than I ever was. Her work ethic is just something that makes me proud as a father. All her accolades she had here at Teurlings, and now winning a conference championship there. But I think just more proud of the person she's become. Not only academically, spiritually, her very strong in her faith, and just real proud of the big sister she is to Izzy and Hud, and the teammate that she is. I haven't got a chance to see her play live this year very much. So we were out there Saturday for the McNeese game, and I heard her voice, and it brought me back to when she was playing here at Teurlings, that let's go, let's keep fighting. And you don't really hear that when you're watching them on ESPN Plus, but I was being courtside to hear her voice again was, just reminded me how much of a leader she really is. And just, like I said, more proud of that than anything else she has on her finger or up on the wall.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I told you I had a ton of stuff to get to. We got Coach Jeremy White on deck. So I got two more questions for you. First, beach volleyball. We brought that up a little bit. I know you're very involved with the Interscholastic Beach Volleyball League here in Louisiana. High school teams, not a sanctioned LHSAA sport, but nonetheless continues to grow. What are the plans for this year for high school beach volleyball in Louisiana, Coach?
Well, last year we didn't do as good a job as we had done in the past, trying to get all those different areas together. I know Becky Madden, who's done a phenomenal job for us in the Baton Rouge area, stepped down, which is good for her. I know Brian retired and had some knee surgeries, and she needed to be with him, which we respect 100%. But we continue to want to try to grow it. We're picking up the Homer region, getting Baton Rouge back online. A couple of years ago, VSN covered that unbelievable final we had down there at Coconuts with Dominican and Mount Carmel. So we're looking to get all those things back in play. And there you go, right there. That was a great event. So excited for you guys coming and helping us out with that. And I think that really put the sport on the map for us here in Louisiana. So once again, just looking to get it bigger and better, and try to get the personnel. It's tough, because it is during the club season, and I'm coaching the club team, and our other coaches are coaching club teams, and their kids are playing. And it's hard. Those kids are spread thin. It's hard to go play on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or a Saturday, Sunday. You get home Monday, you practice beach on Tuesday, you play in a beach match on Wednesday, you practice on Thursday, then you leave Friday again.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult for those young ladies to, and at the same time, trying to keep up things academically. It's difficult to try to structure it to where they can be kids, but we're also trying to grow the game. So we're looking to get it back online a little bit bigger and better than we did last year. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited about it.
Coach, part of the reason that both of us struggled a little bit to follow up on that great year 2 years ago in beach volleyball, I stole you. I took you to Huntsville with me because VSN did the Beach Volleyball Conference Championship, Conference USA. Justin, we've got a couple pictures of Coach as a broadcaster. Look at Terry Hebert there, the color commentator, Huntsville, Alabama. Conference USA tournament. You got your CUSA shirt on there. I mean, you did a fantastic job. What was it like being a broadcaster on this end of the microphone? And do you want to do that anymore?
Oh man, that was so exciting, man. Like, you got a picture right there with Bryce, over from Georgia Tech. What a great guy. That was like, I guess you can see the excitement, man. I really look, Eric, man. I appreciate you asking me to do that. I had a ball with it. I wish I would have done a better job. I think what I need to learn to do is watch the monitor and not watch all 5 courts, because I was making comments on court 5 while you guys had the monitor on court 1, and my wife was texting me like, "Dude, what are you commenting on?" Like, let's. But it was so hard to just try to focus in on that one screen when you had so many good matches going. You had the Ferrari twins on court 4, man, just tearing things up. And
right.
But yeah, it was fun, man. That's an experience. I would love to be able to do something like that again, and just a ton of respect for you and Garrett and Andrew and Bryce and all you guys. The amount of preparation that it takes, I didn't really realize it. If you want to be a good broadcaster or somebody good at color, you have to do your homework, not only on the programs and the players, but their social lives and their academic lives. And, to walk in there, kind of drove into Huntsville at, I think, midnight the night before is when I got there, and had to be on courtside for 7. And I just had a blank sheet of paper, and I had to learn these girls as I went. But just a ton of respect for you guys, and being behind the camera on the mic was fun, but eye-opening experience for sure.
No doubt. And you did a great job. You're beating yourself up, but you actually did a very nice job. And it was nice that you gave Bryce the Teurlings Catholic pullover. I know he got a little cold, so the Rebel Nation was being on display in Huntsville, Alabama. But look, we got to let you go. What a season, huh? 2022 volleyball season. Unbelievable. We've got club, we've got beach ahead, and we wish you the best. And thank you so much. And congratulations. And you may not have ended with the state championship, but maybe one of your best coaching jobs ever to get that team under those circumstances to the state championship game. Hats off to you, my friend. Well done. And thanks again for joining us on Diggin' It.
Means a lot to me, Eric. Thank you very much, man. You'll have a happy Thanksgiving.
You do the same, my friend. Tell everybody we said hello. And it's time for us to take a break here on the show, Diggin' It. Again, we are brought to you by Farm Bureau, St. Charles, St. James Parish, as well as the Sports Pub and Grill here in Destrehan. Don't go anywhere. We switch from the high school scene to the collegiate scene, and we're talking to a conference champion when we return on Diggin' It.
Hi, I'm Chris Hogan with Farm Bureau, Real Service, Real People.
Hi, I'm Andreas Hackman with Farm Bureau. I'd like to wish all the athletes in the river parishes a safe 2022 season.
Hi, I'm Robert Palmisano with Farm Bureau. We've been protecting families for over 75 years in the river parishes. Your friends for life.
Hi, I'm Aaron Melanson with Farm Bureau, Louisiana's insurance company for home, auto, and life.
I'm Will Sermon with St. Charles St. John Parish Farm Bureau. We provide outstanding customer service. Our amazing staff and in-house claims adjusters assure that you'll be taken care of in your time of need. Real service, real people. Proudly serving Louisiana families for over 70 years.
The Sports Pub and Grill in Destrehan has it all. A great place to watch the game, daily drink specials, and you won't believe the food. From our fresh 10-ounce burgers, fully loaded baked potatoes, and great salads too, like taco salad and grilled chicken. Need something to rinse it down with? How about one of our refreshing daiquiris? A great atmosphere for the whole family. Just a few miles west of the airport. The Sports Pub and Grill, 3001 Ormond Boulevard in Destrehan. SLU, that's right. Southeastern is going to the big dance. You saw championship point this past Sunday as Southeastern defeats HCU 3-1, clinching the Southland Conference Tournament Championship, and with it, an automatic bid to the NCAAs. With that, let's go to Hammond and talk to Victoria's head coach Jeremy White. I'm going to guess, Coach, that video does not get old, seeing that match point and that dog pile celebration.
No, it doesn't. I'm so happy for the kids. They've done a great job to this point, and changing everything the way to the point that we're at, Southland Conference Championships. So I'm pretty excited for it, and every time I see it, I just grin a little bit more.
No question about it. Not only did the kids do pretty good, but how about Southeastern's record the year before Jeremy White got to Hammond? 2-27, and now you're going to the NCAA dance. What is the feeling like for you? Have you decompressed from this weekend where not only did you beat, the number 1 seed, but you had to take care of McNeese State in the semis to get there?
Yeah, we played 2 really tough teams this weekend. McNeese did a great job. Probably the toughest matchup for us I think we've seen all year. Just with the size they have on their the right and their middles, and so that was huge. And then pulling that against HBU, which had a great season as well, who will actually be going to the NIVC. So it's not like we walked off with a team that's not going to a tournament of their own. But it's huge. I mean, the kids have done a great job changing things. We had a plan when we got here, and they've adhered to it as much as they possibly can. And a lot of the times, taking it a step further than I could even think about.
Hey, more of the emotion from Sunday. We saw the dog pile celebration, but that wasn't it. We got some video of the trophy presentation and, of course, putting the sticker on the big bracket that Ansley Tullis got to do. Let's go ahead and see some of that video and kind of take me through what was going through your mind for all this.
I mean, really, at this point, I'm so excited for the girls. I know the work they've put in. I know what we were playing for and how what we've tried to do with our culture. And I know a lot of these kids, we've talked a lot about, 15 out of the 20 kids being from Louisiana. There are a lot of kids that nobody thought could do this. There are a lot of kids that people didn't want to recruit because, they had the wrong LA next to their name. And so I'm just proud and happy for them. They've done a phenomenal job of changing our I guess, standards and our expectations, and to do it, with Louisiana kids, for Louisiana and a Louisiana institution is pretty awesome.
I had that question down a little bit farther in my format, but you're right there. Let's talk about it, Coach. Louisiana players stepping up in a big way, earning a conference championship in Division I indoor volleyball. Mm-hmm. Tell me about your philosophy in recruiting Louisiana players. And there were so many of them, Tullis, Hebert, Hidalgo, so many. And there's 9 more that we'll talk about some as well, but your philosophy, what made you go and say, yes, I'm going to go with these Louisiana players and we're going to take you to places that Southeastern's never been?
Well, number one, our biggest our focus when we're recruiting is to go get good people. And when we're thinking about, here we're coming into a Louisiana institution, we know the culture that we're trying to create. We know the culture of Louisiana. It's always been about hard work and family. And that's the easiest thing I feel like to center a great competitive culture around. And, when you've got a bunch of good athletes that other people are kind of overlooking, it makes it a whole lot easier in the recruiting process because they don't have as many options and they're appreciative when they do get it. And then on top of that, we were able to go get, just tons of kids who've won a lot. We've got, 16, 17 state championships, maybe I think even more than that on our team. We've got multiple national championships in the club scene. And they all came from Louisiana kids. But what's been nice is that having that group of Louisiana athletes, knowing what we were trying to do with our culture, knowing what Louisiana is about as a whole, I think that also helps with our kids from out of state, understand just coming and buy into this different culture instead of this, typical, I guess, I wouldn't say entitlement, but just the world of glamour that college sports has gotten to. We just got gritty kids who want to come in and do the right thing and play together and be teammates. And, and you saw it in the emotion, like they're excited for each other and they were excited. I don't know if you've popped anything up of the all tournament selection stuff. I mean, the reactions to their teammates and stuff when they got selected for all tournament is tremendous. You know, they care about each other a ton. And again, it goes back to Louisiana values, Louisiana culture, just brought into Southeastern.
Ansley Tullis was one of those players who made the all-tournament team, and obviously what she and the Tullis family have dealt with over the last week to 10 days has just been unbelievable, unreal. And the way Ansley has handled it. Now, I got to see the way Allie handled it on the court at the Cajun Dome 12 hours after losing her brother Christian. She was courageous. She was poised. She played as well as she could. And then afterwards spoke in that media interview room like I don't think anybody could have imagined the maturity of that young lady. I'll be a Allie Tullis fan forever. I'm going to guess you're the same way with Ansley and what you've been able to witness firsthand. I think all of us have kind of looked at her Instagram and the post that she's been making, and really a celebration of her brother. And she has smiled just radiantly over the last week. I saw you yesterday in Slidell at the funeral and the services for Christian Tullis. What has it been like as a head coach? And you talk about bringing in great families. The Tullis family personifies that, not to mention their background in the sport and national titles on the club scene that you alluded to. As a head coach, have you dealt with something like this before? How did you deal with it? And give us your thoughts on the way Ansley Tullis has handled this situation.
Unfortunately, I actually have handled something similar. I mean, I don't think anything can compare to, someone losing a child or just losing someone that young. But I had an athlete when I was at Barb High School, in my first head coaching position, who lost her mother to cancer rather quickly. We thought it was going to be a little more time, and it ended up being about 6 weeks as a sophomore. So I've been through similar type things, but not for a long time. And I don't think any amount of experience prepares you for for anything like this. I mean, it's a different emotion each time, regardless. You talked about being proud of Ansley for how she carried herself, and I'm proud of the whole family for how they've carried themselves. Ansley played the day of the tournament, the day of they found out, same day that Allie played here. We were playing UIW, and and obviously Danny in the front row, and the whole time, just trying to stay stoic and staying there for Ansley. And I don't think she makes it through the match if he doesn't. If he breaks down, she breaks down. And I look at both of them throughout the match, and I'm fighting back tears myself, just literally in awe of how they were able to, do that. But I understand, and we all understand that with the Tullis family, volleyball isn't just something they do. It's something that they, they live. And for them to go out and do those things, it doesn't surprise me necessarily they did it. I'm in awe of how well they did it, to be perfectly honest. And then on top of that, I mean, just the way our kids have rallied around the family and Ansley and their performance about it. That's one of the big things we talked about throughout the last couple of weeks, is that, we had another reason to play. We weren't playing just for a trophy this weekend. We were playing to honor a member of our Lion family, because that is really what we're about. I mean, we said family as part of the big value system for Louisiana, and each one of the families within our program, and you see it after the games and stuff with how many people are on the court talking and mingling and everything, and how easy it is for me to go have conversations with parents of kids who maybe don't even play that much right now, and how they're still just so proud and so, value what we're doing here. And I mean, it says a lot about what's going on with our culture, and it says a lot about, how much they care about, the Tullis family, our kids do, and Ansley and Allie and everybody, really, Colin as well. I mean, that boy's always on. He's on my court with the ball as soon as the game's over, every single game. But but I'm proud. I'm happy for them as well. I mean, they've done a lot for me as well. I mean, the way they take care of my family is, Colin's out there with my son 24/7 and putting up with him being a pain in his butt the entire time. And, they're just good people. This is really what I can say.
I think in 2020, when we started covering beach volleyball up on the North Shore at Diggs, I saw Colin was playing. He was probably 8 or 9. He was playing against 12 and 13-year-olds, and he was beating everybody. And he was hitting lefty. He was hitting line shots. And I go, are you the best beach volleyball player in the country at your age? And he looked at me and he goes, absolutely. Yes. There's no question. There's no question. And I wasn't going to doubt him because he's phenomenal. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. Hey, I want to talk more specifically about the conference championship match against the top seed HCU. I know they won that first set, but Coach, I looked up at the score one time. I think it was like 11-1. I'm like, oh no. What was the feeling like as a coach when you got down so bad and then losing that first set? How did you get your team to bounce back?
It really was just trying to get them to calm back down. We kind of came in, I think, really amped, and then when they kind of put it on us kind of early, I think we got really tight, really fast. And so a lot of it was just, hey guys, let's just get out, let's just play at a high level, do the things we do, start playing together, communicate, trying to get them to just get back into the typical realm of things. What do we do all the time, every single day in practice and other games? And it slowly worked its way into that. We went, tit for tat for the second half of that first set, and then really kind of squeezed out the second, but and really turned it on at the end of the third, and it was kind of back to being us from there. So that was nice to see.
Oh, it was a great comeback, and Kayla Newsom with 18 kills and MVP. Cicely Hildago, again, from Coach Terry Hebert's Teurlings Catholic program, 16 kills, 19 digs. Just overall, the feeling now of, I guess you give your players a little time off, and then Sunday, you'll find out, along with 63 other teams, the 64 field team. Give us your plans on announcement Sunday for the NCAA tournament field.
Oh, we've got our watch party. It's going to be here in the Victory Club at Strawberry Stadium. So we'll have that kind of out and about on social media as well. And, we'll kind of announce it and, through that in a sense. And then we'll also, of course, have our formal announcements of what we have going on. I know our marketing team will be all over it. They've been doing a great job so far, graphic wise, taking care of, the film you see on this podcast right now, as well as, the pictures we have all over social media. So we'll have a great, opportunity to just have, be together, have some fun, get excited about our possible draw. The last week's projections, I was a little happier with what I saw there than what is the typical thing for the Southland. Not that the University of Houston is, some cookie cutter opportunity, but Logan Eggleston over at Texas would be a little bit, maybe a little too much to handle with that big, giant jump touch she's got. I don't know if I want to deal with the powerhouse just yet. But
what are the projections? What have you seen? You're going to play Houston possibly in the first round?
It looks like Houston's going to get a regional host bid, and so I think they're the 4 in the South right now. That's the projection. Should they win out this week?
Who are the other teams in the South?
I only really know our 4. Our little pod would be Houston, Georgia Tech, LSU, and Southeastern. As it sits based on last week's projection. But of course, we know things change. It's supposed to be UTRGV playing Texas, but SFA won the WAC, and we'll see what happens there. So that could change some stuff because I think their RPI is a little higher. So we'll see if they maybe get the opportunity to go there instead of us. Let's fingers crossed.
Hey, this goes back to the beginning of the season when you had some big tournaments. I know you took your team to a couple places. New York can't get much bigger than going to the Big Apple. How do you think those tournaments have prepared these young ladies who rolled through their home schedule? I don't think you lost a game this year at home. I think you went 14-0. But tell me about preparing them for this huge stage that they're about to be on.
I think really just trying to play a competitive schedule that also gave us the opportunity to win. We wanted to play as much like competition as we possibly could with, my goal was minimally go 2-1, like put us in every single tournament. So put us in a situation where we're going to play a team, teams that are going to be competitive with us that we felt really good about being able to beat, and then challenge ourselves at least once every single tournament. We were able to go 3-0 twice and 2-1 in the other 2. So that was huge along the way. I think just the level of competition that was able to both, prepare us, get us to see competition like we were going to see at the top of the Southland, but also give us some confidence, especially coming off of a more of a down year last year. And so it ended up working pretty well. Definitely the atmosphere in the UC seems to have some kind of magic for us this year. So it's pretty exciting. 14-0 in the University Center was pretty good way to go. I mean, it's nice to be the host of the conference tournament when you're undefeated going into it. So in the arena.
That worked out pretty well. Let me switch gears real quick. A recruiting question for you. And this is sincerely just wanting to know. So football recruiting, right? During the season, we see, sometimes, like a Nick Saban or, somebody, Brian Kelly, they're at a high school football game, right? They're in the crowd. They're making a big deal about it. The local cameras will get a shot of them. Are you able to do that on the high school scene for high school volleyball? Like, obviously you were playing when the state championship unfolded at the Cajun Dome last Saturday, but what's it like to be recruiting? And I hear so much, obviously, that, club volleyball is where a lot of college recruiting takes place. But in high school volleyball, are there teams, especially when you're, being able to land so many Louisiana players, are you able to go to games or see players in action? How does that work for a head coach during the season? But it's like that for football as well.
Yeah, our travel schedule makes it really difficult, but we try to make it out as much as possible. Usually if it's if we can get a Tuesday or a Monday, every once in a while there's a few of those that happen that we can get in. If we don't have a midweek that week, that makes it a lot easier. We can finish up a practice and then roll out. And we try to find, as best as possible the matches. Say if we got a kid that's a little further away, like a Lafayette athlete or something, maybe that we can find an open weekend, or maybe we have an early match on a Saturday and they're playing in a tournament in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, some of that's a little bit of a quicker drive for us. We try to make those. It's tough. I mean, football gets the luxury of having, full-on bye weeks and playing once a week, whereas volleyball, you're playing 2, 3, 4 sometimes in a week, and that makes it a little more difficult. And then also like staff constraints too. You get the fact that, we've got 3 accountable coaches in Division I volleyball. And so it's like, how many places can you send them? We made it out to a couple, especially kids that we've either committed or looking to commit right away, pretty soon. Try to make it out. I know I got to go out and watch a little Mandeville St. Joseph's action because we got a couple of kids coming in from there next year. We got Kira Beverly from
Mandeville,
and then Taylor from St. Joe's. Not sure if I'm in trouble for saying that right now.
No. And you know what? I was going to ask you because we had Terry Del Conte from UAB on a couple weeks ago, and she couldn't talk about Lindsay Wickersham until Lindsay actually signed. And Lindsay signed, of course, I think 2 weeks ago. So my follow-up question was, what does the recruiting class look like this year for players that have signed that are a part of your recruiting class this year?
We've got a couple of Louisiana athletes coming in. Kira being who's definitely won and has signed and is accepted and all that good business. And we've got a couple of athletes coming in from Texas, big jumpy lefty from Texas, and another middle as well. And then we got one coming out of Mississippi and one out of Florida. So it's a big class. We graduated 5 kids, and we definitely added some talent at that level. We got some kids that we probably will give a year or 2 on the red shirt front, just to try to separate them a little away from some of the depth we have right now. It's kind of hard to be an outside on this team with 2 studs with 2 years of eligibility left, so that's going to be difficult for some kids. But we've got some kids like some of the best players in the state that have had to do some of the same stuff. And just kind of Lily Morgan took a red shirt this year, MVP of the state tournament last year. That's pretty tough to kind of go through, right?
Yes, that's tough.
It's definitely a good class. I'm excited about it. It's going to bring some size, some depth, and it's to some positions that we were kind of we weren't as deep in as we were on the left. So that'll help.
It's the furthest thing from your mind, has to be. And I know as we kind of joked before we started the recording, like, you're back in the office. You're like, when am I not in the office? But obviously, and we talked about this before about being the beach coach as well. And I know the fall beach season was, up the ante a little bit with the Pairings National Championship that they had in Huntsville this year. Give me the lay of the land with Southeastern's beach program right now.
We feel really good about it. We brought in a nice freshman class, probably our deepest freshman class yet. And we got the luxury of becoming a fully funded program this year. So that's going to be exciting as well, because it's going to go a long way towards, allowing us to go out and recruit even more and even harder. So that's pretty exciting for us. And, but it's good. I mean, I think we had a competitive spring, or spring. I say spring. I always confuse the two between indoor and
right. Fall season. Yeah.
Yeah, competitive fall season. We got to send, Jolie Hidalgo and Megan Scuderi out to Huntsville, who went in, I think, as the 60 seed and left as the 39 seed or your 39th place. So that's a 21, improvement. I mean, they took out, I think it was Arizona's ones and South Carolina's twos along the way. That was pretty exciting to see that some big wins against some Power 5 competition. And so I'm pumped. I think it's definitely going to be an improved year. We had a great year last year, I thought, by our standards. And right now we're in a situation where I think we should improve on that. And, we were somewhat of a competitor for the conference title last year. I think this year it's going to be even better.
Well, Coach, we're going to let you go. I know you're busy, and we certainly appreciate your time and a bunch of firsts, for Southeastern, right? The first Southland Conference tournament win, then the first Southland Conference title, the first Southland Conference tournament title, and of course, here on Diggin' It, you are the first two-time appearance person ever on the show. So props to you for making history again, not only with all this great volleyball stuff, but here on the Diggin' It podcast on VSN. Thanks so much for your time. Congratulations on earning a trip to the big dance, and we wish your team the best. We're going to be following. Trust me. Hopefully we can make it to the selection show party on Sunday and get some video and some interviews.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Now I can go, I can go one up Tanya, right?
That's right. That's right. You're 1-0, 2-0 Southeastern. It's 1 to LSU. Good job. I like it.
I got you.
That's great stuff. All right, we'll let you go. We're going to take a break. When we return, a little bit more high school volleyball. We're going to go back to the state tournament. We're going to take you inside the media room and hear from the teams that finished as the state runner-up. 5 teams did that. We've already played all of the state championship stuff for you on our YouTube page and all of our social media. So for the last 10 days or so, we've put all 5 state champions, trophy presentation, all that good stuff. But coming up, we're going to hear from the teams that finished in second. We'll have that for you right after this.
Hi, I'm Chris Hogan with Farm Bureau. Real service, real people.
Hi, I'm Andreas Hackman with Farm Bureau. I'd like to wish all the athletes in the river parishes a safe 2022 season.
Hi, I'm Robert Palmisano with Farm Bureau. We've been protecting families for over 75 years in the river parishes. Your friends for life.
Hi, I'm Eric Richey with Farm Bureau, Louisiana's insurance company for home, auto, and life.
I'm Will Sermon with St. Charles St. John Parish Farm Bureau. We provide outstanding customer service. Our amazing staff and in-house claims adjusters assure that you'll be taken care of in your time of need. Real service, real people. Proudly serving Louisiana families for over 70 years.
The Sports Pub and Grill in Destrehan has it all. A great place to watch the game, daily drink specials, and you won't believe the food. From our fresh 10-ounce burgers, fully loaded baked potatoes, and great salads too, like taco salad and grilled chicken. Need something to rinse it down with? How about one of our refreshing daiquiris? A great atmosphere for the whole family. Just a few miles west of the airport. The Sports Pub and Grill, 3001 Ormond Boulevard in Destrehan. Welcome back to our final segment of Diggin' It, and it's one that you're going to want to stick around for. Of course, the media interview room for the state championship, we always focus on, of course, the teams that won, the Division I through Division V state champions. And we have certainly given those 5 teams plenty of credit, and we have put out the victorious sound and reaction and trophy presentations over the last 10 days. 5 teams also went into that media interview room at the Cajun Dome to speak about their seasons. And of course, those were the teams that came on the short end of a state championship game and finished as a state runner-up. But the emotion and the sound that we recorded during those 5 interview sessions certainly needs to be shown at some place. And if you're looking for all of the Division I through Division V state championship sound, you can find that on VSN's YouTube page. And that's where we're going to put the interviews from the 5 teams that finished as runners-up. And we start with Division I, where April Hagedon was very emotional about coaching in her very last game. We'll have Division II following that. We heard from Terry Hebert earlier, but I want you to hear from some of his players as well. Haley Hillman was great. Izzy Hebert, awesome. E.D. White, of course, they lost to Dunham after winning the first set. Sarah Johnson was tremendous at the podium. Her players spoke, one about the rope that you might have saw the E.D. White players carrying throughout the tournament at the Cajun Dome. In Division 4, of course, was Pope John Paul and Allie Tullis really being so composed and being so courageous to talk about her brother, talk about playing. Her teammates and her interim coach were unbelievable as well. So you'll hear from them. And in Division 5, Westminster Christian, who took Country Day to 5 sets and losing that 5th set, Keith Leon, their head coach, has done a fabulous job of turning that program around. You'll hear from him and Abby Cunningham and the rest of the players that were brought into the media interview room. So let's hear that now. And again, this is about 13 minutes, but it's full of great stuff.
I know, is it? Please. Is it for 3 of us up here? Well, not for 3 of us. One of them's moving on to play at UAB. Michaela's trying to play. And I'm going to be around. It's just the last time that I'll be the head coach. So, it was I know we wanted the storybook ending, but like I told them, I'm so proud of them, and they gave me the storybook ending, getting back here. And, and I'm proud of the way they stepped up. I'm so proud of our team. I think we had a great run this season. No one expected us to be here, and we definitely rose up to the challenge. Dominican played almost flawless tonight, and I was so proud of the way my team, they started off with a little bit of jitters, okay, with the first time them being here in 3 years. So only one out of these 3 has played in a championship match. So we were a little bit on the, where they had 5 and we had 1 playing in the championship match. So they were definitely ready, and they came out, and like I said, we came out with jitters, and I'm glad we gave them a good run for the 3rd set. Somehow we lost a little swag.
The swag!
And I was like, we lost it, like in 2 years. I'm like, we need to find it and get it back again, and I think they did, these last 2 weeks, they have worked so hard to get to where we were. I mean, I definitely feel like we had the harder side of the bracket to get here, and and they did it, and I'm proud of them. They had a major comeback against St. Joe, and maybe we were maybe we got tired by the end, but that's okay, because like I said, the storybook ending was getting here, and we got here, and I'm proud of the way they responded.
I think in the beginning we kind of just started off really slow. I think we didn't really know what to expect. Like they said, we haven't been in the state championship in 3 years. So I think after the first 2 sets, we started minimizing our errors on our side, and that's what helped us to get to the score we did in the 3rd set. So I honestly think Dominican's a wonderful team, and I think if we would have started off stronger, the scores could have been different. But I'm really proud of this team, and I wouldn't want to go out any other way.
Yeah, I think we weren't prepared for the speed of their offense, and so it just took a while to get used to. So by the 3rd set, I think we figured it out, and at least we gave them a good match. But yeah, I think it was just nerves. I just feel like everyone was tired of just being like walked all over kind of by other teams, and like we wanted to show people that like we could win and we could put up a good fight. And everyone was always, I say this all the time, I've never felt more supported by a team. Like everyone was always with each other, and if one person was down, someone else would like lead and pick up for that person, and it was just always like we were always really together and on the same page, I feel like.
Like coming from a public school, like everybody kind of, oh, you're an athlete, all right, we associate with you. But I mean here, like it was just such a great like community and like great friends, and everybody like building each other up, and we had great chemistry. Like I said, like Coach Hagman said, like this year, like I don't know what it was, but like I've never felt better about a team.
Yeah.
And like I know like I wanted this a lot since last year it was on me. This year kind of was again, but like, let's not talk about. But anyway. No, right. You are correct. But still, just like I don't want to play with anybody else. I didn't want to play with anybody else on this last year.
Yeah.
Right? We're a family, yes. And I'm definitely gonna remember them. So
very close team.
Yeah, y'all be invited to my wedding.
met a good team today. Proud of my girls. They fought hard. We had some, as I said earlier, we had some personnel changes throughout the season. Needed some people to step up in positions that they haven't really played in, and they did a phenomenal job. It's hard to, as a senior, to all of a sudden go play one of the biggest positions on the court as an outside hitter. I was proud of Allie for doing that, and Charlie coming in as a sophomore. But just real proud of this group. If you would have asked us in August if we would be sitting here, in the finals, I probably wouldn't have given much faith to that. We had a bunch of question marks, and just extremely proud of this team for getting to where we did.
I just think that we played a great team. Like Coach T said, we played a great team. They were firing on all cylinders today, and he did say our sets were a little tight, but I think we were there. I think we just came up against a great team today. I think I'm gonna miss the camaraderie. We were all so close, and walking into the locker room every day, it's like my family. We're not just friends, we are there for each other. We talk it out, we go through everything together. We've been there for each other all season, and I think that's what I'm doing this most.
I think that obviously in the past, we won state championships and stuff, that's amazing. Those teams are amazing or whatever, but even the losses, just being able to go on the court with these girls and the rest of our teammates are just amazing. We do care for each other and we love each other, and I think that's what gets us through every single game.
It's a blessing, very much, because every single time we go on that court, he's always saying how there's some people that don't even get to go onto the quarterfinals. They don't get to see the Cajun Dome, and I like to soak it all in and just really count on it as a blessing.
First of all, I just want to say how proud I am of these three and the rest of my team. It's not fun, losing, but no one expected us to be where we are today. We came in number 3 with probably one of the worst records in the state, and we beat a lot of teams in these playoffs. And we played like we were supposed to play all season long. We had a lot of ups and downs, but in the end, we finished strong. And the amount of people that have come up to me the past couple of days to say how amazing this team is and how much they love to watch them and how much fun they have watching them is a testament to them. They know that they are the quickest team. They have the most heart out of anybody, and they left it all out on that court today.
I think we fought really hard, and I think all of us left everything that we had on that court. It's tough to come out so close, and I think we could have pushed maybe just a little bit more to get on top, but we fought hard, and I think it was a great game.
We came out strong in the end, and then kind of slacked off in the second set, and then we were just going up and down, and we just needed to stay steady, but I think everyone on the team gave it their all the whole time.
We knew coming into this that they were going to be a bigger team and that we're not as big, but we faced big girls before and we put up a really good fight against them. So I think that today everyone played a good part in battling against that.
Yeah, they came in and gave us the game that we expected. We knew that they had some good hitters in the front, but our game plan was to serve tough and kind of get them out of their rotation. And I thought we did that perfectly. The first set caught them off guard, and then we kind of slacked off. Well, second set we did pretty good too, and then after that we kind of just lost it a little bit. But we came back that last set, and I think we started to execute that game plan a little bit more toward the end, just a little too late. But they did everything that I asked them to. Could we have changed things here and there? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, they gave it their all. You can't go back and say, oh, I should have done that, should have done this. No. I've been doing this for too long. I know that you can't change the past. We can only look forward, and I'm just so proud of them. They are, runner-ups. They're number 2.
So my grandfather, Coach Don Torres, came to speak to us and gave a motivational speech on Wednesday before we played Thursday. And he told us that not everybody, people are going to get down. We have to use this rope to pull each other up and pull each other up the whole game. Play as a team, play as one. And when somebody's slacking, you pick them up. So that's what the rope is.
Excellent. That's awesome. Thank you.
Just want to give a huge shout out to my team today.
on Coach Danny's team. I'm just a fill-in for the day. But they came out and put on the bravest and strongest of faces that we could have ever imagined for a team to show up off of little to no sleep for the most of us. Volleyball is a passion for this team, for this family, and that's exactly what this is, as we've grown up playing with each other. From him coaching me to me coaching Allie, all the way through. So we're incredibly blessed and proud for our team and our family showing up today, really showing out, showing us what they have.
I 100% played for my brother. Like, there was no one else I wanted to play for. I wanted to win so bad for my brother Christian, who gets so many college offers to play volleyball, is literally the hardest working kid and passes before he can even graduate high school. That is just so heartbreaking. On our ribbons, we have CT and AN. AN is number 2, Peyton's sister, and she passed away, and CT is my brother, Christian Tellis. And we told each other that we wanted to be happy no matter what, win or loss. We were playing for each other. We didn't care if we lost in 5, we got single digits. Like, we just were playing for each other the whole entire time.
I mean, you don't forget about it in the back of your mind, but once you're on the court, you're there with your teammates, you're playing for your teammates. So you have to put that feeling aside for the betterment of the team. And it's tough, but I think we did a great job of that today. And even though we didn't come out as state champs, Christian and Avery are hella proud of all of us.
Absolutely. And what we were saying the whole time is we didn't want to play by one person. We wanted to play together as a team, and I think that's what got me through the game. Because yes, I was very scared to play, but I know Christian wanted me to play my senior year in the state championship game.
Didn't graduate too many people, so to come this far after we didn't even make it here last year, we were more than happy to just be able to be back in the state championship game with this same group a year later.
Yeah, we started practice in summer hungry for this moment right here.
Christian, if it wasn't for you, I would be at home crying in my bed. But I know you wanted to go to Penn State, and I know you wanted me to shine. So we put your initials on our bows, and I wrote you on my wrist, and I love you forever.
We made a little bit more mistakes than them, but our girls are phenomenal. They worked hard. They played every game we went out there. It was a great match. Look, I've been having them for 4 years. This is my 4th year. So we went from regional round, quarterfinals, semifinals, and finally the finals. And they're just a great bunch of seniors. I can't ask for a better group. We just made history at Westminster that it's gonna be there forever. And now we gotta work our way to win that finals, But this group right here, I can't ask for anything better. It was just a big smile. I mean, they fought hard. They fought hard.
Me and Carly have been playing since we were babies in club. And so I really know how she plays, and she knows how I play, and Joe's just like that, the glue to it, She just like slips in there and fits and brings it all in together like a cherry on top. And Aaliyah and Ada, Aaliyah, I played with Ada too in club, and Aaliyah just stepped up this year, and we really just all brought it together like one big family.
I never thought, when they first came, Coach Keith and they first came, 8th grade year, freshman year, we never thought we would have been here. And Abby came sophomore year, which really helped our team just go to the next level, but no one ever expected us to be here. No schools, no one expected us to be here, so it's really special, and the bond we all have is, you can't find it anywhere else.
Oh, I mean, I wasn't necessarily upset. I mean, yeah, I'm not a sore loser, but I mean, I am upset that we lost. I would have loved to take home the winning championship thing, but I mean, I'm just happy and I'm proud of us that we even accomplished our goal and did more. I don't think anybody's ever taken Country Day to 5, so I mean, that alone is pretty good to us. So I mean, it was just fun while it lasted. I'm proud, if I can say that. I don't know, I just super proud, yeah.
You look at it, 35-8, that's a special season. And look, all the games we had, we were probably in it. We could have won every game that we played. Some of those tournament games, we went three sets. I mean, every game, we were in every game. That's special. That's special.
Certainly great stuff right there. Emotional sound from the media interview room, from the Cajun Dome, from the teams that finished in second place in their respective divisions on a statewide level. That will do it for another edition of Diggin' It. Certainly want to thank our guests. Of course, we had Terry Hebert and Jeremy White, two awesome coaches and good friends as well. I also want to thank Justin Thomas for his great work on the show. And we want to, again, send our thoughts and prayers and just appreciation for the entire Tullis family, the way they have handled such a devastating loss, losing their son, Christian. I think the entire volleyball community has rallied around their family and will continue to do so. And VSN is no exception. So for everyone on the show and for all of us here at VSN, thanks again for tuning in and watching on the podcast, the Diggin' It podcast with Eric Richey. So long, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving as well.